What's up, Tasu Warriors? Here today with another deck profile. The incredible Ogres. They got second place in the Tasu tournament. After a couple of adjustments, I think they're ready to move to the first place. Keep in mind, though, this is a God format deck, so you will not be able to use this deck in the Mortal format. You have to make some adjustments to make it legal for that format. But this is the deck I am currently running in the God format. So let's dive right into it. It is running a low warrior count. Typically, I run about 15 to 20 warriors. This deck runs 12 instead. And that's because we have a lot of searcher cards that can help, get to our warriors that we need when we want them searched and so forth. But let's dive into the deck. It is a God format deck, so it's only right that we start with our God. Our God is in this deck, Mother Terra. Limit one God per deck. I think overall she's probably the best one. Life 18, we're four ties to him, we're at 5 body count. So if she does take 4 more damage and leaves the field, you do lose the game, unfortunately. So keep that in mind. But under circumstances, it is really hard to do that. Especially if you use her ability. I use her third ability called Continental Rain. Until your opponent's third end phase, when your opponent attacks or targets cards you control, they must roll a d6 result. They must roll a d6 on odd result. It may be activated. So they have to roll odd on a d6 for them to attack or target cards on your side of the field. And then she also has mortal protection, where warriors with 10 or less life cannot attack or target her as well. And then Earth Fame, Mother Earth. We got Maru the Primal. He's your big attacker. Swings for 3. If it deals damage, target gets bleed. He can shoot air projectiles as a second attack that's chainable. She can dish out multiple attacks. Also has an ability where if you minus 1 energy, you can destroy a ring your opponent controls and then get him back up to your hand. Nice retreat. Super good primal. And the Fist of Earth theme, so he's in the deck. Keep in mind though, he is 3 body count. But he has the damage resistance to punch and kicks of -3. So your opponent has to be literally packing a powerful punch to deal damage to him. Really good primal. Then we got Azula the Fallen. These are all the one-ofs. And also God format Pacific cards I'm doing first. This is Azula the Fallen. She has a printed attack of 3 damage. I usually don't use her for that. I usually use her effect, which lets me search for a warrior type that's on the side of the field. So when the card is cast off, which means discarded, she turns the earth element, she makes herself a mortal body, and she comes down and meets, a warrior from earth, and then she gives birth to a new race, which is the Ogre specifically. So when a card is cast off, you target a warrior class you control, and then add the same warrior class type from your deck to your hand. So we're running Ogre, so I will search for an Ogre. Super powerful, especially in the climb. I'm gonna show you guys. Then the boss defender of the deck is Historical Herc, 4 body count, so make sure you protect him at all costs. But your opponent's going to have to use a lot of resources to even get him out. And if you have the Mother Terra out, combo out, it's just your deck is just it kind of makes you I don't want to say a bad opponent, but yeah, it's annoying, possible scoopage, but he is killable, and he is a kryptonite, which I will get into later. But when your opponent attacks or targets cards on your side of the field, he attacks them for 2 damage. So whether attacking him or destroying some of your legend zone or attempting to, he attacks a warrior they control. Super powerful. Then also his ability, when a earth element type warrior class is called, your opponent minuses 1 Tassel armor. So whether you call or your opponent call it, you have to minus Tassel armor. So nice burn damage with them as well. And then our one-ofs of the Ogres or Tagra, kind of a floodgate as well, control. When your opponent normal calls a warrior, you may e-call an Ogre warrior class from your deck to the same zone corresponding. So these are the 2 targets I'm running, or 3. We'll get into that one because there's 2 of them. Kura and Bam Bam. Kura is a floodgate for the cave. When your opponent calls a warrior to the cave, attack the warrior for 2 damage. So if you get the timing down right, you can say you have Tagra in the K, and then your opponent summons to the KO. You could time it, respond, you call Bam Bam, then Bam Bam will trigger. When your opponent calls a warrior to the KO, attack the warrior for 1 damage. So you get the floodgate with this card. I had 4 copies before previously in the deck, and it was really cloggy. So that's why I'm running one of all the warriors, and I can search them anytime I want. It worked pretty well with the 4 Hercs before I add the search cards. So I think now it's going to be very consistent. And then Tagra's ability, twice per turn, if your opponent e-calls a warrior, you may attack a card with life for 2 damage. So this means if your opponent's e-calling to any of those zones, you can attack them for 2 damage twice per turn. Or if they're calling tokens, you can attack their tokens they call for 2 damage twice per turn. So he's very powerful with dealing damage out to your opponent. So when they do remove them from the field eventually or anything like that, they will take the body count. 1 copy of Sage with the message. You have to ninja call him, which means you set in your legend zone. When he's destroyed, his prophetic kamikaze goes off. When this warrior is destroyed by your opponent, destroy a card from their hand and side of the field. Techie card, but when he goes off, he's amazing. And you're running quite a few responsive cards, so your opponent is definitely going to think it's one of these cards and they're going to blow it up. So it gets play. Then the 2 ofs is Ogre, my favorite back row removal in the game right now. You cast off 2 from hand or discard 2 from hand when he's called. So that's e-call or normal call. And if you do, you destroy all face down cards on the field. So you can destroy your opponent's whole back row off when he's called. So 2 copies of him. I had 4 copies prior for the combo I wanted, but with the new search cards, it'll be more consistent, and I can just search for him whenever I want with the search cards. And then 2 copies of Senton, the Swamp Giant. And let's do the responsive cards. 7 responsive cards. Let's do the 2 ofs first. We got 2 Calling of the Dead. Target a warrior class in your dead zone, and if you do, e-call a warrior class in your dead zone to a zone you control. When the card leaves the field, destroy the warrior, and if the warrior leaves the field, destroy this card. 2 copies of those. I think every deck should at least run 1. There's a couple interactive plays you can do with it. I want to tell you later at the end of the video with the combos. Hockey Dispel. When a legendary item card is activated, you may negate its effect. Your opponent may -2 Tassel armor to negate the card effect. So either make a blank card or burn your opponent for 2 spiritual armor. Very powerful. Might want to run out of 4 if I could find some room. Divine Backlash. Activate when attacked and destroy all cards with life that declare an attack this turn. Can destroy fields if you time that right. Joker's Trampoline, because I keep losing to it. Target a war on the field and return to the owner's hand. And then Sage's Bind. You may cast off an element type card to negate the activation of a card depending on the card type restricted. So I'm running all Earth, so I can negate a warrior effect, which makes it a blank card. Very powerful. It could be unexpected. Yeah, so that's it for the responsive cards. Next is the legendary item cards. We're running 18 of these bad boys. This is a searcher added to it. Ogre clan and an Ogre or Kayako warrior class from your deck to your hand. I'm running all Ogres so I can search except Mother Terra and Azula. I can search for every other card besides that. So 4 copies of this, of course. And 2 copies of the Carbonous Sarcophagus. Target a card in your deck, reveal it to your opponent, and orbit it. During your second end phase, after this card's activation, add that card to your hand. Search for Calibrate Counter, Mother Terra, Herc, anything you need with this. Probably wouldn't waste it on Herc. I would probably use the Ogre clan card. But you know what I mean. Search for any card you think you may need in 3 turns. Search for Calibrate Counter is always the best option in my opinion because you get it at the end of your second turn. So when you end your turn, you're adding to your hand, and then be your opponent's turn. You won't be able to use any other card on your opponent's turn besides this card or like Baby Extend. So Calibrate Counter is always the best option in my opinion. We're in the back row meta. So Lightning Strikes twice, 2 copies. Target a card in Legend Zone. Destroy it. Roll the dice. If it's 2 even numbers, target a card in Legend Zone and destroy it. If the results are not 2 evens, target a legendary card you control and destroy it. You can destroy yourself. So potential pop 2, but pop 1s, potential pop 2s. Very, very good. Cosmic Time Rift to negate the activation. Does the same thing as Lightning Strikes twice, except for it hits once. But they can't activate the card when I destroy it. 1 copy of this. And I'm gonna give this a little bit more screen time because it's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Good for Vegan Battle Cry. Good against Task with Gift Bottom Heart. Any of those cards that your opponent likes to activate when you destroy it. Tasu Fireworks. Once again, we are in the back row meta. Target if you have a card in your Legend Zone, you may destroy it to destroy 2 cards in your opponent's Legend Zone. So this card's even more powerful, I just realized, because it doesn't target. So yeah, 1 of these because limbo and protect. You destroy this itself, so you can destroy 2 or any other cards you have face up. 1 Sage's Salvage. Target 2 element earth type warrior class worth 2 or less body count from your dead zone, and if you do, add them to your hand. So another reason why we're running low warrior count, because we can get 2 of them back. Casual Earth Reg, Earth themed deck, +1 to my Earth and Steel type attacks. Also, my Tassel armor can be targeted or attacked, so it can stop me from getting receiving burn damage from my opponent. In a sense, with Earth Reg, legendary item treasure. Remove counters from it. Search for legendary item cards. And here is Herc's Kryptonite. Ranger Ring, Malicious Restraint. This card just obliterates the whole game plan with him. It reads, when this card is activated, it remains on the field. Your opponent cannot declare an attack. So it's great. It works great. It does what it does, what it's supposed to do when you use it. But when your opponent uses it, it stops Herc from attacking for 2 damage when they go to attack you or target your cards. So it just makes him ineffective for 2 turns. And then Divine Hatred. Destroy all cards with life on the field. Yorigetsu Ordeal. Target warrior your opponent controls this turn. You may use it to normal card warrior as it's on your side of the field. When you activate this card, you may not enter your clash phase this turn. So get rid of their gods, primals, and stuff, and then sacrifice. Well, you're using it to sacrifice or tribute 1 of your warriors from hand. Very good spot removal, and gives you an advantage in Tassel armor, especially with the heavy cost. So I'm getting some plays with this. So I'll leave that to the side. 1 Tassel Bar Vendor. Each element earth warrior you control can Kaishu 2 damage once per turn. He uses this as a Tassel firework target to blow up basically your whole back row, all 4 cards. Blow this up and then blow itself up, destroying 4 cards. But when this card's out with Herc, it is a very good combo. It protects them from 2 damage once per turn while he's attacking back your opponent. So eventually you can wear them out faster than you'll wear out. I had 2 of them, just in case one got blow up, because your component's going to blow this up because it's annoying. But it's just like, it's not really it is game changing, but I have other valuable options, my apologies, that a better slot can use. And then Noble Act, I had 4 copies of this prior. What it does, it adds a non-element warrior from your deck to your hand, but it can only be used once per duel. That's why I had 4 of those, just so I want to be able to see my Azula or my Herc as soon as possible. But now with the Ogre Clan card, I don't have to rely on seeing that card I can use once with 4 copies of, and it opens up a lot of more space, which actually opens space up for the Ogre Clan card, to be specific. And then we're running 12 defense cards because this is a target meta. 4 calibrated counters in my opponent's turn when they target me with anything. 4 ninja rolls to dodge attacks, or sorry, parry attacks or targets. And then we're running 4 double backhand springs. These cards can be used again in the dead zone. So essentially, these 5 cards are really 9 evades. So I chose to run over malicious restraints. You can sub those in 3 of those because I'm running 1, or some battle cries if you want. If you think that will make the build better. But personally, I think we're about to switch to an anti-responsive card meta pretty soon with the release of Count Palestine. So I'm definitely going to try to keep my responsive cards very limited and low, currently at 7. And then let's get into the combos, folks. So you want to, if you can, start with her in hand or Noble Act, which can search for Azula because she's a non-element Nether Angel. So basically you have 2 copies of her in the deck. And then you want to start with Ogre Card Clan or Tugra. Then, so your first turn of the game, you get 2 normal calls. So you're going to normal Azula. Then you're going to normal Ogre. Cast off 2 from hand. Trigger Azula. Target Ogre. They mate. Add Historical Herc to hand because he's an Ogre class warrior. Store these 2. E-call. So that's the combo you want to start the game with if you're going second every time. If you're going first, if you have to go first, you want to start with Tugra. Whether start them in your hand or with Ogre Clan, because you'll know if you're going first or second before the game starts. And then your opponent usually going to call to the KO and Kyo. So you probably want to, sorry, the KO and the KO. So you want to play him in the Kyo. Then when your opponent calls to the KO, E-call your BAM. And then when they summon to the K, E-call Kura. So now you got your little floodgate. You can hit each one for 1 damage, and then hit 1 for 1 damage to 1 summon to the KO, and then hit 1 for 2 damage to the summon to the K. Nice little floodgate there, first turn. And then you still have 6 cards in your hand. Whether I don't know if you set whatever rest is in your hand. And then interactive plays you can do during your opponent's turn that are very powerful, or with Calling of the Dead. So you have to have it set prior. Let's say your opponent's turn again, normal. Activate. And then you would e-call Ogre from the dead zone. And then you can cast off 2. And then destroy all their face down. So obviously they're during the play phase. You wait to set their cards, then activate it, and then boom, destroy their face down. And then with this card, your guess the ordeal. You can activate this, and then target their warrior. Let's say he's worth 3 tassel armor. Then you can play like your big guy like Ogre, and you won't have to manage 2 tassel armor instead of managing 5. So that's what this card is for, is to help pay the cost for your gas. But that's the end of this video, unfortunately. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Ogre deck profile. Hope to see you in the arena. God format specifically. I'm just playing. It is my favorite format, but I will play Mortal or God format, doesn't matter, whatever your preference is. Tassu love, everyone. Love you all. Have a wonderful day.